For the manual choke here, it's pretty simple. Nothing is affixed here. I just got everything hand tightened. I just use a aluminum plate here. You can get it from the local hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever. Cut it off. It comes in a big rod here. I just basically take a piece about 2 inches long, cut it, drill a hole for the screw to go through so I can mount it. I drill a couple holes just so I can have adjustability on where I want my push rod to come out for the choke. And this comes with the kit, just a second 256 ball link. And I have a ton of this 256 size rod laying around, so I'll cut that to size once I get everything lined up. But basically, this will mount here behind the screw in front of the engine. I don't want to put it behind because that'll throw off the engine angle. It'll throw off the thrust line of the engine. So I mount it in front of the mounting tab, and then this here, I drilled out my hole a little bit bigger than the push rod so it can flex a little bit here. And because of the way the cowl is, I know that where this exits, it's going to exit center here. So I want my choke to come through this hole on this left side here. So I'm going to angle it out and just behind here so that it's not really visible, but I can get to it when I'm out at the field to actuate the choke. So basically it's going to be just to the left of the mounting for the prop here, the prop hub, and I will get that all situated, and I'll cut this off just so it's about I'd say a half an inch behind the prop hub, and that will put it inside the cowling, and that should be it. I'll screw it on back here at the choke linkage, the choke arm there. I'll bolt it down, use Loctite if it's anything metal to metal, or I'll bolt it up with a small bolt and lock nut. And that will basically be it. The screw will hold this plate tight. The bolt will hold the rod from moving, and that will be a easy manual choke. Okay, the engine is installed. Everything is Loctited now. I got the manual choke set up on. Basically just actuate it by pushing and pulling. Throttle connection, all the throttle linkage is set. Hook to the servo, no binding there. Next thing is basically just if I'll set the radio up, set the throttle servo up by connecting the radio, and like I said, setting the endpoints, and that'll all be taken care of. Now moving on to the fuel line install. It's pretty simple. I'm going to use the stock setup, stock tank. There's the air. There's to the engine. Basically, this is going to the carb, and this is for the fuel line. It says pumping fuel. So basically, I'll use this line, and I have my line ran from my carb with an inline fuel filter. You want to use a fuel filter going to the carburetor. This one will go to the one that says to engine. The air line will just loop around the top and out the bottom of the plane for the vent. And then this is my fuel line. I'll basically just run a spare line out the side to my Miracle fuel dot that I'm going to install on the side of the plane here. And that'll be it for the fuel line install and the gas tank install. I'll just it comes with straps and everything. I'll just strap it back down inside, and alright, if you look, I've got the gas tank installed. It's strapped down. I Got the vent line, it's ran. The fuel dot installed, the fuel line to the fuel dot. I've put zip ties on all connections, and I've strapped down the fuel filter. And I have ran, if you look on the bottom, the vent line out the bottom of the plane. I also attached a clunk to the bottom. I like for it to hang. I don't want it to bounce back up into the plane where I have to go fishing for it again later. So that's pretty much it for the fuel tank and the fuel line install. Very simple. 10-15 minutes, some zip ties, and you're done.